Oh, good, you're still here. Let's meet our guests once again. This evening we have Nick Renda. He is with T-Litz Sports. As well, Maribel Linfield. She is the food diva. You can get her at fooddiva.com. And Alison Burke. She is the education director at the Oxford Learning Centre and the director of community services for the City of Woodstock, Bob McFarland. Next topic, please. Another successful piece of legislation from the provincial government. You'll recall it passed a bill making it illegal to smoke in an automobile if there are children under the age of 16 in it. So, just last week, provincial police charged a 20-year-old man when he was caught driving and smoking with a 15-year-old girl in the car. While he was getting the ticket, the girl lit up a cigarette, which is perfectly legal. The government spokesperson calls this a glitch. A couple of questions. Is this a glitch, or is this legislation a total goof? And wouldn't it be logical that once the police officer saw what was going on in this case, he would just tear the ticket up? It just all seems so silly, doesn't it? Okay, glitch or goof. I read a report that perhaps the powers that be are perhaps going to give police officers that discretion in the future to make that decision. But this seems so silly, doesn't it?
I think it's really silly. I think also, too, it's odd. You know, I guess would be a good word to choose that at 18, you have to be 18 to buy a package of cigarettes, but you can smoke. You're allowed to smoke at 15 years old. And to me, that would have been something that the police officer should have addressed.
I don't think there's a law that suggests when you can smoke.
Yeah,
and
well, that's
and
just
the law,
it.
The
But
law
yeah,
that we
you
have,
can't buy them until you're 18.
Well, no, the law here
think
is that if you're 16, you can be charged if you're driving around with a 16-year-old.
I think the issue is they should have ripped up the ticket then. But the law itself, I mean, if you're in with young kids, 10 years old or 9 years old, and you're smoking, the law it's more for that.
There's a lot of common sense in this law, but when is the government ever going to learn that you can't legislate people to be healthy?
Yeah.
I mean, there's common sense behind it, but I don't know.
I think there's an age discrepancy here.
Yeah.
Like you said before, you're 18 and you're allowed to buy, but you can light up pretty much almost any time. I think the intention of this was good, but 16 being that pivotal age, it's not working.
Even the fact that she lit up a cigarette, I mean, in that case, it wasn't like, but when you're harming someone, and that's what and like you said, it's not
Maybe
that
they should reduce the age.
Is anybody offended by the fact that this government that we have in power now seems to just be niggling away and trying to take away, our rights like this?
I don't think they're any different than any other government. I mean, they've all done things like that.
I think this is a good idea, the legislation
I like
itself,
this
with
idea.
the smoking and the secondhand smoke as such an issue.
Okay, quickly, we're going to move along to the last topic. Okay, and octuplets born in Southern California are creating a stir, and not just because there are so many. Medical ethics are coming up in the case. The mom reportedly conceived the children through fertility treatments, even though she already has 6 young children. The mother, who's in her 30s, lives with her parents. Lots of questions here. Let's talk about it. All right, let's talk about it.
I think it's disgusting.
Go ahead, then.
Tell us what you really think.
Who the hell wants 14 kids?
No.
You know what? I don't even think it's about that. There are so many people who would love to have children.
One
child. And I just think if you can't financially take care of that many children, you're living in your parents' house, why on earth should you have 14?
Treat it like adoption. Would you want 8 adopted kids right away? Probably not.
They say that she's not on welfare, and she won't accept welfare. There's another point was made in another that she was on welfare. But the fact is, like you said, she's living with her parents. She's got 14 kids. Are they going to get the
Bob?
At the end of the day, I mean, it's the kids I worry about.
Right.
You're cramming. These kids are going to live in a barracks.
Yes.
They're going to have one parent, and the parent obviously is not all that bright.
No, let's be honest though, in this day and age with all this publicity, those kids will be taken care of because people are going to reach out and people are going to want to help those children. Not the mother, but they're going to want to help the children. And I wouldn't think that's what she
How do you have 8 children at once?
It's after having 6. After having 6
She had 6 at once?
She already had 6. Now she had 8 more. She's got 14 altogether.
She had 6.
The doctor who helped her with this should be in jail.
That's the issue there. I mean, there are no medical ethics involved.
She didn't get pregnant by herself.
I think that's something that a legislation should be there, that if you already have a certain number of children, you shouldn't be allowed to get the fertility treatments.
That doctor should have his license revoked.
It's an expensive option too. So
and I realize that's personal choice.
The taxpayers are paying for it. They say the hospital bills alone are going to be $1.5 million.
Which will be taken care of.
But money aside and practicality aside, what about the health of those children? Because they did not
well, in our
develop under ideal
society
circumstances.
today, as long as you're having children, I mean, everybody thinks that's okay. You can have a mental illness, you can be a drug addict, you can be an alcoholic.
You can be
you're having kids? Oh, gee, that's okay. I mean, because that's everybody's right.
Yeah. There was a movie way back a long time ago that there was a quote that said, any butt-wielding can have a child, but you need a license to own a dog.
Yeah.
And, you think about something like that.
Okay. We are going to have to take a short break. When we come back, we will wrap things up. We'll see you in a moment.
If you have an idea for debate or a topic you'd like to see kicked around by our panel of guests, we'd like to hear from you. Send your suggestions to news@swo.ctv.ca. You can use this same email address to report breaking news in your community.
And it is time now to reward tonight's guest that did the best job of making a point. Here's the winning comment as selected by our panel of editorial judges.
It's the kids I worry about.
Right. Yes.
You're cramming. These kids are going to live in a barracks.
Yes.
They're going to have one parent, and the parent obviously is not all that bright.
Okay, Bob, well said. Who are you going to give the money to?
Well, I'd like to give the money to Operation Sharing in Woodstock.
Okay, we'll cut them a check and send it along. Let's find out what everybody is doing. Nick Renda, T-Litson Sports.
I'm the key account manager with T-Litson for this area. We deal with all the schools and team and leagues in this area. Just opened a retail store on Weaver Street there in Waterloo.
Terrific. And Maribel Linfield, thefooddiva.com.
I'm a trained chef and I teach cooking lessons, public, private, corporate, and online. So check me out at fooddiva.com.
Okay, and Allison Burke, the Education Director at the Oxford Learning Center.
Yeah, in Waterloo, we've got 2 programs, a preschool program for kids aged 3 to 6, and also for grades 1 up to high school, we're teaching kids how to learn.
Okay, terrific. And Bob McFarland, what's going on in the city of Woodstock?
Well, the city of Woodstock's exciting, growing, thriving, new factories, new jobs, new homes. Check us out on the website, www.city.woodstock.on.ca.
Okay, thanks very much for taking part. You did a great job. It was fun having you on. Thank you for watching. It's always fun having you out there. We're back next week with more of What's Your Point? We'll see you then.